Chris, what's up? It's me, Analog Attack, back again, and today I'm really chuffed to welcome Dave from AS220 in Rhode Island, Providence. Am I right, Dave? How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing good, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you, my friend.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining me today. So before we start, can you tell us a little bit about the work you do over there, just a little bit?
I work for an organization called AS220, which is located in Providence, as you said.
Right.
And it's kind of a all-purpose arts organization. But most people would probably know us, and most people watching this, if they do know us, would probably know us from, we do have a small concert venue.
All right.
And actually, I've seen for a certain period of time back in the mid-aughts, Ben from Armageddon Shop and Drop Dead was booking lots of killer hardcore shows there, and I saw some bands I never thought I would see, such as Systematic Death and Warhead and Forward, and
cool.
they all played at this place that I work at, which was crazy.
Amazing, amazing. So Dave, what's today's topic? It's your idea. What we're gonna do?
Today's topic is gatefold albums, and the the art or photography of them, and also definitely the music contained within, because that's why we're here.
It's a great idea. I'm glad you thought of it. So I'll let you go first, and I think we're going to start off with some hardcore punk. Am I right?
Yeah. So yeah, this is my one hardcore punk selection.
I have one too. Only one. Yeah. But go ahead, Dave. What you got?
So we're gonna go with the all-time classic.
Classic
Discharge,
record.
Hear Nothing, See Nothing, Say Nothing.
Yeah. Masterpiece.
And this does have has a lovely gatefold.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of the stark black and white design that they were famous for.
Yeah.
The typical. Actually, I guess it's not so typical. It's kind of, this one's kind of an arty concept of a play on the typical like war bomb victim theme that runs throughout punk. Excellent photo collage on the front, which it's credited to Cal in the album, but I heard it was taken from it was lifted from a kind of a propaganda poster.
Right. That's why they got the dove logo, the dove with the sword going through it. They got that from a book too, right? It's famous. I forget.
And we have the band.
Oh, yeah.
In all their glory on the back.
When I bought that record, I love that photo. The photos on the back of the band, they just look so cool.
And I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I was always intrigued. It says the photos are by someone called Biffo Gas Mask, and I always wondered about that. And there's not a whole lot of information, but
where is he?
Apparently, he was like a performance artist that would open some of their gigs.
Well, cool. So you're an American. You've gone with a British hardcore record. I'm a British fellow. I'm going to go with an American hardcore record.
Nice.
Shout out to the brothers Burdett, and I just love the gatefold. I have no idea what it means. You open it up, and it has the legend: hot dogs in high gear, no machine yet for spreading the mustard.
There might be one now that the record's like 20 years old. So
yeah, but I just love the gatefold on this. Good classic design and great record. That's my one and only hardcore record. So we can move on to better things now.
All right.
What's your number two, Dave?
My number two, I'm kind of carrying on a theme that you and Chris were doing in the last video, but cool. I'm going to go with Maiden Live After Death.
Beautiful.
Especially produced by Mr. Martin Birch.
That's correct, yes.
But this is really great. Unlike the Discharge record, the art on this one takes advantage of the whole two sides. and it does have a Rhode Island connection, H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And then the inside, I don't know. I've had this record since high school, I think, and it's just, you know, crazy photos on it. It really kind of speaks to like just the over the top Iron Maiden live show. You can stare at it for hours.
I mean,
and it has, you know,
you see that and you're definitely like, oh, I really want to go and see this band, you know, when you see that gatefold.
So that's my number 2.
Great record, great choice. All right, I'm going to go back in time a little bit. 1970 something. Allman Brothers.
Ooh.
The Allman Brothers.
Interesting.
Yeah. The cover's pretty simple. The back cover's pretty simple. But the gatefold is something else. I mean, there's so much going on here. There's a naked lady riding a dragon, and there's a mushroom kingdom. I mean, you could spend a couple of hours searching for things on this, but apparently it was Hieronymus Bosch influenced painting by some guy in the 70s. But, yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, you could spend a lot of time looking for things. A lot of stuff going on. Yeah, classic 70s design. Love it.
Nice, good choice.
Right, Dave. What do you next?
My next one, sort of not intentionally, another kind of carryover from a past episode, but
cool.
Agents of Fortune.
Cool.
I've always really loved the, you know, the painting.
It's really intriguing, yeah.
It's weird. You know, you got this guy with the tarot cards and sort of a lot of the cult themes going on here.
I'm sure if Chris was here, he could tell us the meaning of everything.
Right. But what I really love about this is the photo inside.
Yeah.
The band, apparently, I'm gonna assume they're playing roulette on the moon. And that's the Earth back behind them. And another small detail I really like. Eric Bloom is wearing his mirrored shades, and you can't see his eyes. You can only see the reflection of the roulette wheel in his eyes.
I've never noticed that before.
It just looks really bizarre.
They always have amazing artwork. Oh, incredible. And I don't think either I or CC picked that record in our video.
No.
You didn't, right? No. All right. Next up, I'm going to go with this record for a couple of reasons.
Ooh.
The second Captain Bjorn record, which a lot of people are like, it's not as good as the first. Well, it's true, it's not as good as the first, but it's a good record. Great cover, and again, a really 70s vibe going on. But the interesting thing about this record is the illustrations were done by Joe Patagno.
Right.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Later went on with Motorhead.
And
early. And yeah. Did he design a Magic Circle record?
Yeah.
He did.
I'm unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Wow. So Motorhead, Magic Circle, Captain Bjorn. So this must have been some of his really early work. It just says illustrations, so I guess he did either the front cover or the back cover. I'm not sure, but interesting. Early Joe Patagno work.
Captain Beyond, I guess they're known for their lavish covers with the
the
lenticular one on the first.
I wanted to show this one too to kind of try to get people to listen to the second one a bit more because it's a bit maligned. Nice. All right, Dave, what you got next, mate?
Oh, next we're gonna go with Alice Cooper.
Oh, nice. I was gonna pick that one actually. Cool.
So this isn't the original. I think on the true first press, one of them is doing something kind of saucy down in with his finger around his nether regions. But cool band photo. This is kind of lame, but it's telling you that it includes I'm 18, their big hit.
Yeah.
Another cool rockin' band photo on the back.
Dave, you're a photographer, right?
I'm a what?
You're a photographer.
Yeah.
So you must be kind of, interested in the photography on a lot of these records, right?
Yeah, for sure. I like trying to find out about who took the photo,
right.
what camera they used, like what kind of,
right.
setup. It's just like the technique that was done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then just another really cool.
Oh, I've got a record that kind of looks like that, but slightly different. I'll show it later.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have Alice's eyes with his famous makeup, and then the band is reflected in his eyeballs as well.
Yeah. Cool. Dave? What's your kind of like least favorite style of gatefold? What don't you like?
I have sort of an example of that later on, but I don't like it when it's just when I can't figure out why they bothered making the gatefold. Like if they just like print the lyrics in it or something kind of boring. I like it when, they take advantage of it where it's almost like a, whole thing unto itself, like the art or the photos or whatever.
It's a huge space, right? We should make the most of it. And the lyric sheet can go on a different lyric, on the lyric sheet, right? Yeah, that's my least favorite too. Just you open it, it's just like a wall of text,
I pulled out a bunch, I pulled out all the gatefolds I had, and there were like a lot of them where it's like, it's a gatefold, but there's nothing particularly interesting about it.
Yeah, me too. Like great cover art, but then you open it, it's just a bunch of text in the middle. So, okay, I'm up next, right? It's my turn, right?
Yes.
Caravan.
I don't know.
Prog from the UK, early 70s. This is the best Caravan record, and it's called The Land of Pink and Grey. So pink, pink and grey cover. And then when you open the gatefold, you get this really like stark black and white, which is a real contrast to the cover. I really like that. It's almost like a punky kind of like, it's that real high contrast black and white picture. So I love that. Yeah.
Nice. So I do, just an aside, like you were asking about like photography or whatever, but the super high contrast black and white photos where it's either black or white.
Right.
I love those photos. And I do still, like, I shoot film and work in a dark room, and I love just messing around with my own stuff, making it, giving it that look.
It's such a cool look. It's timeless. I mean, that's from like the early 70s, but it actually kind of doesn't really look like it's from the early 70s. It's got more kind of a punk kind of vibe to it, I thought, that image. And it's really constant.
I'm going to have to check out Caravan now.
Yeah, this is what the one you want, The Land of Pink and Grey. Yeah, nice. That's one, yeah.
All right, moving on.
Okay, what you got?
Let's see which one I want to go for. This is the Liars, long-running Boston garage band.
Yeah.
Going on probably 40 years now.
Really?
And they still do play out. The outside, it's all right. But this
I like the back.
Yeah. What they did though, and this goes vertically, so it's the gatefold is a family tree of like just the entire history of the band and the bands that preceded them.
Wow.
And everybody who ever played in every version of the Liars.
That's amazing. I didn't know
just keeps on going.
I didn't know they were from DMZ. I didn't know that connection. Yeah, that's a good band.
So
that's a Boston band too, right? DMZ was a Boston band. DMZ was a Boston band, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
DMZ was and I think there's a connection and shared members with the Real Kids too.
Oh really?
it was all kind of like an incestuous, like that early proto-punk scene up there.
Yeah.
Cool. But I took this out and it made me realize that I've never actually like read
Edit.
this, so I'm gonna have to do that.
There's a lot going on in there, a lot of text.
Yeah.
But that's a good use of text, though, right?
For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next I'm going to go with a classic, one of my favorite bands of all time, the Electric Light Orchestra.
I love that record.
Fantastic record. I mean, the jacket's great, but the gatefold is just, when you inside the spaceship, amazing. So when you play this record, you open the gatefold and just imagine that you're in the spaceship, and it takes you places. Amazing.
It's killer. Yeah.
It's killer. Yeah, it's killer. Amazing. And as an added bonus, I have the spaceship, which you can kind of cut out and hang on the ceiling. And it's most of the copies you get don't have the spaceship because people made them, right? When they made the spaceship, but this one had the spaceship.
Nice.
Still inside. So
killer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like ELO, they're a band and from a time where like probably like their peak gatefold, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So I should preface this. These aren't like I have 10 of them, but they're not like this is my number one and this is my number 10.
Yeah, mine. There's no ranking or anything. No.
But so this is kind of playing off what you just said about how like a lot of those copies don't have the spaceship. This is a record where I've owned multiple copies of it, and the inside wasn't complete because some teenager in the 70s had torn it out and I think like pinned it up to their wall. But I'm gonna go with
all right,
volume 4.
Right.
And not only is it a gatefold, but it's
the first time I've ever seen that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So yeah, it's a gatefold, but it's also kind of they have pages in it, including the band shot and Ozzy doing the classic pose.
Oh man, what's that? Is that like a first US pressing or first UK pressing or?
It's I'm assuming it's a US. It's definitely a US, and it's a green label. So I think that denotes a first press.
Yeah, I've owned multiple copies of that record, but I've never seen that. Like never.
Yeah. I'm glad I could show it to you.
Yeah, very cool. Oh, look at that picture of Bill. Wow, that's one of the best pictures I've ever seen of him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've owned multiple ones, and the poster part of it was long gone, and finally I got one that was complete.
Yeah, I have a Japanese pressing. It's not even a gatefold, but yeah, that's great. Thanks, Dave. That's really nice. All right, I wanted to sort of pick one record that had a lot of really kind of cool photos from the 70s in the gatefold, and so I went with this record.
You know what? I was on the fence about that one.
Yeah, I mean it's not that interesting to look at. It's a great record, but just the photos are so like I don't know, just so many cool shots of the band. Gatefold. Yeah, I love it. I love the record.
Yeah, when I was looking at that, I noticed there's a shot of one of the guitar players using like I don't know what it is, a violin or a cello bow.
Yeah.
And it struck me that at least over here they're always referred to as like the female Led Zeppelin. So I thought it was funny that their guitar player was actually doing a Jimmy Page move.
Yeah, it was actually Scoots, I think, that recommended me this record. Yeah, I'd never paid attention to it, but it's a great record.
Me and my wife saw them at a county fair out here maybe 15 years ago, and it was killer. It was
Really?
awesome. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Dave, what's up?
All right. Next one.
Oh, I was gonna pick that one too. I didn't. Cool. Yeah, great.
Another one that takes advantage of the full
Absolutely.
sleeve.
Absolutely.
And this skull actually first appeared on Samhain records, but it was ripped off from a Marvel comic book.
Yeah.
I think it was
It's comic style,
Crystar,
right?
the Crystal Warrior.
Right. My
And this
friend,
is
go ahead, Dave. Go ahead,
no,
Dave.
you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've got a good friend in Osaka. He owns a toy shop and he traded records with Glenn Danzig right back from the Misfits days. So he's
Oh,
got
nice.
letters and stuff from him and everything. Very
Mhm.
cool. He's a toy collector, right?
Yep.
Danzig and Pushead too, and Kurt Hammett from Metallica. So he's got all
Mhm.
the letters and stuff from him. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
This is a UK press for whatever
Oh,
reason, however that made its way into my collection. But
yeah. I think mine's
then you kind of got the band
yeah.
photo,
With
everybody
Danzig
looking
standing
kind
on
of
a chair.
mean. What's that?
Danzig standing on a chair.
Well, I was gonna say, if you've ever seen like live photos of this band, you know that these folks in the background are significantly taller than he
Right?
is. So
Yeah,
as a photographer, I was wondering what did they do? So I think they probably put him much closer to the camera,
right.
and it also looks like the camera might be like shooting up a
Yeah.
little bit to
I love that photo.
put everybody on a even playing field.
Yeah, killer, great. All right, next I'm going to go with kind of contemporary band from San Francisco, a band called Orchid.
Hmm.
It's a Black Sabbath style band. Cover's kind of simple, but um, yeah, the gatefold is this kind of
Nice.
amazing painting. And I was kind of intrigued, so I kind of did a bit of research. So I'm going to read out what I found. It's hang on, let me pull it up. It was painted by the vocalist of the band, and it's like he said he wanted the cover to be classic and strong, like a record from my childhood, blah blah blah. And he did a really elaborate painting for the inside, and it says like it's kind of like peeling a weird fruit open. And the inner painting was inspired by some of the Latino psychedelic murals that were done around San Francisco in the late 60s and 70s. And he says he was kind of influenced by Abraxas by Santana. That's where he got the ideas from. But yeah,
It's killer art.
it's a painting, so done by the singer. So very cool and a good band. You should check them out. Like one of the best kind of Black Sabbath influenced bands
Right.
going on. Yeah.
And another Rhode Island H.P. Lovecraft reference with the title "Mouths of Madness."
Mouths of Madness. Yeah. Yeah. Good record. You should check it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, Dave. Got any more?
Right.
What's up?
So this is the one. I like it, but
Oh, thanks for choosing the Kate Bush. I didn't. Great.
I picked it because I mean, I love Kate Bush.
Yeah.
This is my favorite Kate Bush record, pound
Really?
for pound, I think.
Cool.
And it is a gatefold, but it's like one of those ones I was referring to. It doesn't. I mean, it does have cool art in it.
Yeah.
But I just thought, I don't know. I feel like Kate Bush is an excellent candidate for like a really killer gatefold.
Yeah.
And I think, the management or whoever just kind of dropped the ball on this one.
I think so. I mean I love that picture on the back. Those pictures are amazing. They could have done more with those maybe in the gatefold, maybe.
I was gonna say, yeah, they could have taken the concept on the back here and moved it inside.
Yeah.
But
Have you seen the gatefold for Ariel, the Ariel record?
I have yes, hold on.
I was gonna choose it because it's just a photo, right?
So I have I'm not sure what.
Oh.
This is another one that wasn't that just not that great. But
Yeah, yeah. I have a couple of those two photos were used on singles too. Yeah, yeah. So they didn't take many photos, I guess. But the gatefold of Ariel is just a picture of a laundry on a washing line, and with some like doves like flying. That's the whole gatefold, and it's kind of like trimmed down. It's really wide.
which record is that?
Ariel.
Oh.
Yeah, 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 yeah. One of the more recent ones, but
That's
I always
a hard one to find
it's
on
been
vinyl.
reissued, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I was going to choose that, but I didn't. Instead, I thought I'd represent a band from your neck of the woods, a killer band, Elder. Elder.
Oh, Elder, yes. The
Yeah,
who has played at my place of employment many times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Put out by Armageddon Shop, right? The
Mhm.
Armageddon label. Just great. This is Dead Roots Rising. Just yeah, really, really cool.
Nice.
I guess. I'm
Who did
assuming.
does it say who did the art?
Let me have a look. Let me have a little look. Probably does. Adrian Dexter. Not a member of the band, so I don't know. I don't know who he is, but very cool, proggy looking record. They're getting more and more proggy, more and more prog. Elder. Yeah, the new record is really, really, really prog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're great. I love Elder.
Great band. Yeah, I thought I'd choose a record from your town, so
Thank you.
went with Elder. Yeah, yeah.
All right. I think we're down to our last two here.
Okay. Yeah,
But,
I think so. Yeah, I've got a few more.
so
Oh, cool.
Funhouse.
Very good.
I'll preface this because I'm sure one of my record nerd friends watching this will call me out and tell the world that this is a repress. It is a repress, but the art is still the same as the original. So
is that Sundays? Is that Sundays?
It's Sundays. Yep.
I have the same one. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we got the vertical band photo in here. The Stooges just looking like the coolest guys in the world, which they were pretty much. But the outside is really trippy.
Yeah.
So you got a giant like Iggy's face, then you got a Iggy kind of transposed on his face, and
yeah.
Dave Alexander is peeking out down here, and then the Ashton brothers up at top, and everything's just kind of like blending and melting into everything else. And
very, very cool.
For the longest time, before everything started coming back on vinyl, I only owned it on CD.
Cool.
And like with the CD, you don't get like this effect. So when I finally saw the real thing, it was pretty crazy.
Is that your favorite Stooges record?
For sure. Yeah.
I think so too. For me too. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I don't like what's the third one?
First album, Raw Power.
I don't like Raw Power. Not a Raw Power fan.
Excellent. I have a bunch more. I don't know why. Maybe they'll kind of like. How many more do you have, Dave?
I mean, I have one official one, but I have a whole other stack.
Okay, cool. We've got plenty of time, so let me show this one. So kind of more recent Neil Young record.
Nice.
Psychedelic Pill.
Okay.
And then
when did that come out?
And then it's basically the same, like this looks like a kind of huge. It's supposed to be a pill, but it kind of looks like a big wheel of cheese.
It does actually, yes.
Which I kind of like, and it's a triple album. So get that, and then the slightly different version. Yeah, it's like nice. A lot of cheese. Again, a really 70s looking record, but came out quite recently with the Crazy Horse. This is his best record.
Okay.
Modern day record, I think. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard a new Neil Young record in probably like 25 years. So I'll have to.
I mean, well, yeah. Some people like the new album is like 25 years old, right? But this is from like 2010 or something like that. Yeah, good record.
Cool.
Good design. Yeah, excellent. All right, Dave.
All right, this one actually is my number one. The other were in no order, but
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Trace Hombres by Yes.
That's a beat copy. That's being partied on.
It's really beat.
As it should be. Yeah.
I need to upgrade actually, because there's also a in my favorite song there's a horrific skip in it.
Yeah, I kind of guessed you were going to choose that, so I kind of plucked out my copy. Let's have a look at the gatefold though.
Yes.
It's classic.
It's I want to crawl into this scene here and eat everything and drink that beer, and
that beer looks so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, amazing.
And just to get a little into photographic technique, you can see the I want to say that they poured that beer and then immediately took the photo,
right?
Because you can see it's kind of blurred there,
right? Yeah,
so it was actively like spilling over,
right? Yeah.
Just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah, cool. And because I knew you were going to pick that, I kind of thought I'd show this one too, like the classic, like trifold.
Nice.
On Tejas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like
classic.
Just yeah, I don't know if this will fit in the screen, but there you go.
It's trifold. Yeah.
Trifold.
I love the glint off his aviators.
Yeah. Such good pictures.
Actually, both of them.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I knew you were going to pick that one, so I thought I'd choose that one to kind of go together.
Actually, I was saying, our friend Scoots was over last night, and I told him I was doing this, and he also guessed that was going to be.
It had to be in there. Yeah, it had to be in there. I've got a couple more.
Okay.
So let's go back to, I think this is from the 60s. Pentangle.
Okay.
Prog-rock. And then the back has like just these little explanations of all the songs. But I love this so much. So it's quite simple. It's just got pictures of the band.
Mm-hmm.
Quite simple. But underneath each picture they have a little quote that they wrote, each member. So it's like Terry Cox says, "Luckily my neighbors are deaf." That's his quote. And then Bert Jansch says, "I'm only in it for the beer." And then Jackie McShee, she's the vocalist, like, "I used to sing with my sister, but we broke up the act and I replaced her with 4 men."
Nice.
It's just really funny little comments. And then John Remble, acoustic. "I started off trying to play like Big Bill Broomsey, and I'm still trying." And then Danny Thompson, bass. "This is great. I played lead trombone in the first Green Jackets infantry marching band. Then I took up the double bass, and I ain't marched since." Just these really funny little quotes by each member. Love it. Yeah.
Is there a connection between Pentangle and Fairport Convention, or are they just British?
Oh, just contemporaries. Yeah, contemporaries. I don't know if there's some member like crossover or anything, but yeah.
We got a weird one here, which is
like weird. Oh, that's another one I was going to pull out. I didn't. Yeah.
It's got, the live photo is kind of, it's actually fairly typical of like the sub pop aesthetic of that time in the early 90s. But what I thought was cool was they let you know that this side is for the record and this side is for the poster.
Right. Did Sub Pop have like official photographers, Dave?
I don't know if he was on like the payroll, but the guy that it's safe to assume took all the photos on your Sub Pop records is Charles Peterson.
Okay.
Like every like kind of iconic black and white shot of, you know, Mudhoney and Soundgarden and Nirvana, he's the one that took it.
I love all that Sub Pop stuff, the photos. Kind of iconic.
Sub Pop was also it's kind of funny as a record collector. It also it denotes that the gatefold is a limited edition of 2,000.
2,000.
Like, yeah, only 2,000.
Actually, I think about it, my copy might not be one of those 2,000.
Oh, see,
a regular.
Maybe it is really rare.
Yeah. Okay, I've got one more.
All right.
Kind of the mother lode. Isaac Hayes, Black Moses. So I don't know if this is not going to fit in, but like first you get like, God, you get like the regular kind of picture, like of Isaac, like there. But of course, then the whole thing
just keeps on going.
And so. Yeah, it's not going to fit in. Sorry, Isaac. Yeah, it goes.
I almost got it
like that. Yeah, a lot of people put this on their bedroom walls, like back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's that is probably that's the iconic gatefold sleeve.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, let me figure out what my one more is going to be.
All right, come on.
I'll go with this.
Oh, beautiful.
It's AC/DC TNT, the Australian pressing.
Oh man, a bit jealous.
It's the only Australian AC/DC record that I own. I think a while ago somebody on eBay had like just like a batch of them they were selling dirt cheap, and it does. Somebody did right on the cover, but in here I'll put it up close. But it has all the kind of like the I don't know what they would call them in Australia, but kind of like the rap sheets for all the band members,
right?
Containing their personal details and all the what to watch out for, their distinguishing features, and beware, you know, Malcolm Young, notorious bum riffs due to excessive indulgence of alcoholic beverages. And they're still, for Angus, they're still pretending that he's, you know, an elementary school child.
I think like on the regular, like non-Australian, I think they kind of put that on the back of the record, maybe.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Kind of short version of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm jealous of that record though. All right, that was a lot of fun, Dave. Great.
No, it was great. Thank you for having me.
Maybe we could do a part 2 sometime. Either
for sure.
or a different topic would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks for joining us, Dave.
Thanks, Mike.
See you again. And until next time, stay healthy and stay clean.